Welcome back to the Captivating Christian, and when I was a kid, we weren't so easily offended. Ivan the Incredible, or Jelly Tarzan, or Gummi Tarzan, or Rubber Tarzan, or whatever this is called, is not a very good movie. According to Wikipedia, it's based on a Danish children's book from the 70s. The author was responsible for other children's books that were later turned into animated movies like Otto the Rhino and Freddy Frogface. Seriously. And they look just as bad as this one does. And apparently this was a remake of an IRL movie from the 80s. The only real reason I know about this is because I mentioned it in my video on Kiara the Brave, since both movies were produced and distributed by Phase 4 Films, a company that often distributes movies that are easy to get the rights to. So how bad could this movie be? Well, it should be apparent just from the poster, but for the sake of argument, let's see for ourselves and just get it over with. This is Ivan the Incredible. So we begin in a small town in Denmark where a boy named Ivan is awakened by his father, who, as you'll soon see, is obsessed with the book Tarzan, King of the Apes. To the point where it goes beyond your average everyday obsession. I really want to question stuff like this, but I guess people have their strange addictions. After all, my little brother is obsessed with My Little Pony, so I guess it's a little less weird to obsess over something like a good book. Anyway, Ivan gets ready to go to school, and we see that he doesn't have any friends. Well, maybe he would if he didn't rummage through a dumpster like he's doing right here. If he didn't do that, then maybe he'd have real friends instead of having to make friends out of the junk that he finds lying around, like we see later. But for now, we see this boy getting picked on by some ugly schoolyard bullies. Well, ugly as every other character that you're going to see in this movie, as well as your nightmares for the next few weeks. After being tormented by the bullies, just when you think maybe his dad can cheer him up after a bad day at school, we get this embarrassing display.
You have to learn to be a real man.
What's a real man?
A real man can beat up all the other guys, just like Tarzan.
Several times throughout the first half of this movie, the father tells Ivan that he was able to do many things when he was just his age, with these flashback sequences that are much easier on the eyes. Maybe they should have made the entire movie look like this. But hey, it's not just the animation that's ugly, it's the characters' personalities as well.
Whoa!
What's a poor soul like me done to deserve a boy like you? Huh? You're just such a yellow belly.
Yeah.
The father wants to become Ivan's life coach to help improve his life, but before he can do that, he has much more pressing matters to deal with. Like this.
Me Tarzan. Me Tarzan? You Jane?
After showing Ivan playing with his imaginary friends, we see him in school the next day, where we see that it's not just the one-dimensional bullies who are mean to him, but also his classmates, and even his teachers and principal seem to have it out for him. But why do they not like him and try to embarrass him at every turn, you might ask? Because he cannot read.
He can't even read the first word.
Wow, and I thought I had it bad. I mean, every time I'm in a public area, I think everyone is out to get me, but geez. What did this kid do to warrant all of this? And guess what? His dad is still no help to him.
Do you think Tarzan ever got any special tuition?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he did.
So here, Ivan's dad takes him under his wing and plans to make him a man, like Tarzan, and be able to lift 300-pound weights one-handed like his dad did when he was just a boy. In other words, his dad tries to turn him into an alpha male like he was when he was young. All he's missing are the online course services that cost $99 a month and several Bugattis. But of course, because Ivan is Ivan, he can't bulk up after one simple workout session.
Oh. Is that why Mom moved in with that big Greek guy?
No! He wasn't strong. He was fat. Grossly fat. And that's what happens when you eat too much tzatziki and moussaka.
After several more scenes of Ivan not being able to do things like ride a bike, and even more people in his life like the local butchers belittling him, we finally get a little bit of plot progression. This girl, who they showed earlier, seems interested in Ivan for who he is, so his dad tries to intervene on this, and wants him to become a manly man and impress the girl. And how does he plan to do that? By teaching him how to climb a tree. Like Tarzan could. Well, because Ivan is Ivan and the world is out to get him, he slips, falls, and disappoints his dad, who yells at him in front of the other townspeople.
You are completely impossible to coach at anything. You're nothing but a Jelly Tarzan.
Oh, so that's why Jelly Tarzan's an alternate title for the movie. Oh. Still lame.
What a cool name! Jelly Tarzan!
Jelly Tarzan.
Yeah, Jelly Tarzan.
For once, Ariel, I agree with you. Can we please get one of those, plot things in this movie sometime? Well, finally, halfway through the darn thing, we get something happening. Ivan meets a witch out in the woods, and after telling her his troubles, she makes him a potion that will make him do anything perfectly, with the only real catch being that it'll last for 24 hours. Oh great, another animated children's film, marketed to kids, that glorifies witchcraft. I do not approve of this witch character or the shift in plot. I mean, I'm not offended or anything, but this is seriously, literally offensive. So the next day, Ivan wakes up and shows off his new superhuman abilities.
Okay, lamppost. Are you ready?
And so, he begins to wow everyone around him. He shows off his newly found strength to his father, shows off his newly found literacy to his teachers and fellow students.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's cheating. He's cheating.
He upstages the bullies, gets the girl at school, beats one of the bullies in a bike race. Yeah, it seems he's finally accomplished all he hasn't before. But soon the day must come to an end, and Ivan is bummed out at the idea of losing his new talents. But it seems that he can actually keep his powers and continue to have super strength and whatnot. So then, his dad continues to be proud of him because he finally is living up to his expectations. To the point where he begins to parade his son around, flaunting a book that he wrote, and flaunting newly found wealth. And continuing his obsession with Tarzan, he gets a Tarzan-themed limo, Tarzan-themed jet, and even redoes part of their house to have a Tarzan theme. They even begin traveling around the world and going on various talk shows.
Well, Tarzan coach, tell us about it.
Oh good, stereotypes towards Americans. Well, I mean, as an American, I'm going to say that this isn't offensive because only snowflakes are easily offended, and I am the furthest thing from a snowflake. But this is seriously, literally offensive.
Votre fils est fort, très fort.
No, Roquefort isn't for me. I prefer a nice breed.
Well, tell me, sir, are you rich?
No, I'm not rich. I'm very rich.
And so the movie concludes with the dad taking things too far with the child exploitation. Ivan snaps and yells at him and throws him up into a tree. The two of them actually bond after the dad opens up about trying to get his son to be all he couldn't be when he was a kid. The dad learns to appreciate his son for who he is, Ivan loses his abilities, the girl he likes still likes him, and they get bullied by the bullies together. Because I guess it's better to be bullied with friends close by instead of being bullied alone? Is this really a good message? So that was Ivan the Incredible. It was anything but. The animation isn't very good, the character designs are ugly, a lot of the humor is very annoying, the voice acting is actually okay, and while the story was probably well-intentioned, the entire thing is just needlessly mean-spirited with them constantly dunking on the main character for no real reason. He hasn't done anything to warrant such levels of harassment. I don't even know why I talked about this movie. I need a picture of a cat to calm me down. That's better. Well, I'm Chris T. Ian, and I'm signing out. May Jesus be with you, and if you need me, next video we're going to talk about a religious movie, because I can't take these bad animated movies anymore. Gosh.
Ching chang lu, ching chang lu, ching chang ching lu,